Welcome to this video on production monitoring in Opik. Today we are going to discuss online evaluation rules. Once your LLM application moves through the development lifecycle and becomes production ready, you might want to continue evaluating the performance of your application on real user inputs. Opik's online evaluation rules makes this possible by automatically scoring production traces. Unlike the batch evaluations we've covered previously, online evaluations happen in near real time as traces are logged to Opik. And this is an example view of what it might look like if you enable this in your application. Now, the rules will be configured in the online evaluation tab. And in here, we can see that two rules have been configured: helpfulness and moderation. If we want to add a new rule, we will just have to click the Create a New Rule button. And in here, we have the option to choose between LLM-as-a-judge metrics and code metrics. If you haven't already, I recommend that you watch our video on how to use metrics in Opik. Let's look at an example of a rule that has already been configured. So in this rule, we are assessing the helpfulness of an answer for the user. For this, we are going to use a custom LLM-as-a-judge metric. And as you can see, we're using GPT-4o from OpenAI to score. This is the prompt that we're going to use, and very critically, we have to inject the input from the user and the output that the model is generating to score this. For this, we use the already known handlebar or mustache notation, and we map these two input-output variables that we have to specific variables that we have within our data structure on the back end of this. So if I would delete this, we can see all the options that we have here. And in this case, we want the input user question to be injected here under input. As a result, this custom LLM-as-a-judge metric will provide us with a score between 1 to 10 of how well our model has done. And at the bottom here, we can see what the scoring definition is. We're going by correctness, and we have defined the output metric to be an integer. Let's look at the second example here. Once again, we have a custom LLM-as-a-judge metric for moderation purposes. In this case, we're using the GPT-4o mini model. And this is what our prompt looks like. In this case, we don't really care about the input the user is providing, only the output that the model is giving us in our LLM workflow. And as you can read here, the output will be scored between 0 and 1 on a sliding scale, depending on if any of the categories, one or more of these, are met. And once again, down here, we map the output variable to the output.response field that we can see in this drop-down menu here. And down here, we have our score definition as moderation, which just gives back a number, so a float. We could also add another score definition in which we can change the value that is being expected as an output, either a number, an integer, or a Boolean. And of course, we can change the name and the score description. So once we create our online evaluation rules here, we will be able to see all the incoming traces, they will be logged under the trace view right here. And here we can see we have correctness and moderation as the two scores that our online evaluation rules are producing. Right here. And the associated scores. Also, there will be a reason attached to each score why the AI has decided a certain way. So in this case, we scored a 10 on correctness, full score, and the reason for that is the output correctly identifies pairs as the capital of friends and provides additional relevant information, enhancing the response's helpfulness. So this approach has several benefits. It provides continuous monitoring of your LLM application. It helps identify performance degradation over time. It creates a feedback loop between production and development, and it allows you to spot problematic patterns in user interactions. In the next video, we'll be exploring how to use these online evaluations as part of a comprehensive production monitoring strategy. Thank you for watching.